Welcome, everyone. If you are just joining us, I'm going to give us maybe 1 minute while people get logged in. But today we are talking about optimizing your revenue engine and essential CRM capabilities in an AI era. So we're going to talk a lot about what are the capabilities that you should have in your CRM as it relates to AI, as well as just what you need to be able to do to be competitive in today's market. I'm Kendra Lee. I am president and founder of KLA Group. We work with companies between $1 million and $85 million in annual revenue. We are a HubSpot Gold partner. So in today's conversation, I'm going to use HubSpot as our example because it's the tool we know very well. What you want to be listening for as we go through our discussion is what capabilities you have in your CRM. What do you need to find out do you need in your CRM? And I have with me Lisa Regas, who is our marketing strategist and AI expert. Lisa, welcome back.
Thank you, Kendra. I'm happy to be here.
And also Colleen Casey, who is our chief of operations. Welcome, Colleen.
Thank you, Kendra. Happy to be here too.
Now, Lisa does all of our AI strategy here at KLA. And Colleen is very focused on our systems. And so she spends a lot of time in our HubSpot. And so I thought both of them have excellent insights that they're going to be able to share with you related to CRM and what you have to be able to do today. Things have changed rapidly since we've implemented AI. And as a result, it's just kind of snuck up on you what you have to be able to do in your system. And not everything is keeping up. Or they've added things and you didn't know to look for them. So our goal today is for you to be able to pinpoint the CRM features and AI capabilities that you need in your revenue generating engine. Not just marketing, not just sales, but all of your revenue generating engine so that you can sell and market in today's B2B environment. And I'm going to start us right off with a poll. I'd like to understand what is the biggest challenge that you have with your current CRM or sales and marketing system. And you should be able to see the poll. Is it managing the complex buyer journeys? Because we're going to talk about that in just a moment. Is it multi-channel prospecting and lead generation? That's really important right now. Personalization and timing of sales and marketing efforts? Is it leveraging real-time data and AI capabilities? Is it integrating multiple sales and marketing tools and platforms? There's a lot of them. Or is it something else? Tell us, what's your biggest challenge that you are experiencing? And as I look at it, I see that multi-channel prospecting right now seems to be the highest, but also leveraging the real-time data. You know, we're going to talk about data. If you have noticed, data has become a critical factor in identifying what your strategy is. It's always been important, but because there's so much more that you can have access to, it's really important, but not necessarily easy to figure out how to access. And I'm seeing that managing the complex buyer's journey is one. So as I look at it, Colleen and Lisa, multi-channel prospecting and lead gen is the biggest challenge, followed equally by leveraging real-time data, integrating multiple sales and marketing tools and platforms, and managing complex buyer journeys. Mm-hmm. So we're pretty close across the board there. Any thoughts or comments that you would share?
I am surprised that personalization is not getting any votes, really.
I'm wondering if people feel like they know how to do it because it's been around, but they may not be aware of the level of personalization that they could do now. Just a thought there.
That is entirely possible. There's a lot more that can be done when you have a more advanced system like HubSpot than what has existed for ages, which is the simple like email personalization.
Right. Yeah. Name, insert here, another field in the middle of your email. Lisa, is there anything that you would share?
I think that it doesn't surprise me that the buyer's journey was one of them, because it has become so much more complex in recent months even. So
it absolutely has become much more complex. And if we start talking about the impacts of what's happening on your revenue generating engine, the number one thing is that your buyer's journeys are much more complex. And what we mean by that is people are taking longer to make decisions. They have more people who are involved in the decisions even than a year ago. And so you have to be able to manage who are all the different people that could be involved, at what level are they in the decision-making process. Are they the approver? Are they a decision maker? Are they a recommender? Are they an influencer? What role do they play?
And wouldn't you say, Kendra, that you've seen that there are some people who are just ready to go right now? They've decided, I can't wait. I don't know what's going to happen 30 days out. I don't know what's going to happen 60 days out, but I know my current situation. And my current situation is I need service X, or I need to be able to do this thing. And so I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy right now. So the buyer's journey, we often think of the complexity as it's long and it's drawn out and there's all of these different steps, but we're also in this really interesting spot right now where it could be, nope, I've decided and I'm going, and they're just pulling the trigger.
Yep. They have been waiting and holding back, and then they've said, I can't wait anymore. And so they need help immediately. Or someone I spoke to yesterday said they have a 1 to 3 year buy cycle. So you've got both that you're trying to balance, and you need your CRM to be able to do that. The other is multi-channel prospecting and lead generation. And what I'll share here is we have known that in prospecting, you're going to go and you're going to try all different strategies to reach your contacts. You're going to use email. You're going to use LinkedIn. You may do drop bys. You may text. You're definitely going to call. You're going to do all these things. But now it's even broader. Now you have to be engaged on social. We've got everything that's happening from marketing. All the information has to be there as a salesperson is attempting to reach someone, and you've got to be out there visible. So your multi-channel prospecting and lead generation is very important. And here's a stat I would share with you. 75% of companies report better results with multi-channel prospecting. So that means that they are using the traditional email, phone, but they've added LinkedIn. They may have added text. They may be back to dropping by. All these different strategies have to be brought back in. Oh, and I didn't mention video. So there's all these different strategies. 31% report a lower cost per lead versus single outreach because it's more effective. They're trying to reach these prospects using all these different strategies. So multi-channel prospecting is important. You want it supported by what you're doing in your marketing. And that brings us to the personalization and timing. And Lisa and Colleen, what are your thoughts there around the impacts that you're seeing on revenue generation for personalization and timing?
So Kendra, right now, to catapult all of that, people are not only expecting you to be on all of these channels, simultaneously, but they're expecting instant personal interaction. So how is that even humanly possible? I mean, we're all busy enough as it is, then to be on all these channels, then to be instantly personalizing our responses. And that's on websites, emails, social media. AI is catapulting the possibilities of assisting in all of this. And so that's why it's critical that this is being leveraged in the immediate future and now.
And people have the expectation that if you've interacted with them, you remember them. You know exactly what they want. They don't have to remind you of anything. And these are the kind of small differences that can make or break a sale. If your rep or you momentarily forgets, oh, they were interested in our service because, their last service provider couldn't offer this. But, one of your competitors remembers, they're going to go with the competitor because they're going to be like, okay, they're on top of it. They know what's going on. They remember me. And if your CRM can give you and easily surface the information you're looking for, that's going to give you the edge that you're looking for.
Yeah, and AI is huge in that from a selling perspective, and it's huge in it from the marketing side when you're doing your outbound. Yesterday, I was speaking with a VP of sales who said the information that the salesperson gathers, a client expects if they told one person that thing, the whole company knows what was told. And that expectation has just gotten higher and higher. So you've got to have the knowledge in your CRM and your company using it. At the same time, you have to be able to personalize in your communications with them as well. So it's both sides, inbound and outbound. And then we've got AI and real-time data. Lisa, data is so important. What would you say about that as an impact?
Oh, absolutely. Because AI gives you the capabilities now of being able to look at your data in real time. So mid-campaign, being able to go in and be able to make adjustments mid-campaign is amazing. And the types of reporting that are available with AI right now saves massive amounts of time of doing things the old way manually, of having to go in and build reports.
You use your CRM to remain competitive with the data, the personalization, how you're approaching, all of that is in your CRM. And it's a combination of the marketing and the selling. If you look at this graphic, your goal is to market intentionally so you can get seen, to sell consistently so you can get heard, and optimize effectively so you can get traction. And when you do all those things, you now have a revenue generating engine that is working for you. Now, we talked about lead generation and sales prospecting. A lot of times there are questions about the two. We're not going to go into that today, but I wanted to give you this link. And Bill, if you could put it in the chat for everyone. If you haven't read this article about the difference between the two, go take a minute, read it, because it will help clarify for you what your strategy should be on the sales side and the marketing side as it relates to new business development. Okay, so now let's talk about CRM capabilities. There's a lot of information that we could share with you. We have a whole nother set of slides that we couldn't fit in because we've only got 30 minutes today. At the end, I'm going to give you a link that you can use to get a copy of the slides. This includes these slides plus the ones that we couldn't include here. So let's talk about what you should be able to do in your sales module of your CRM. And we're going to talk about it again from the perspective of HubSpot. So we're talking about Sales Hub Pro critical capabilities. At its highest level, today, you have to have standardization of your sales team. And the way that you do that is through your CRM. It's where you can put not just opportunities and get the pipeline visibility that you want, and not just contact information and the upcoming activities that people have to do. It's where you can put playbooks that have the guide for how someone should conduct a sales call at different points in the process. It's where all the objection information can be. It's where scripts could be if you're using scripts, but it's where your sales process is documented so people know the stages that they're going through. It's where your sales process and tools now reside. Documents that you want to share with people, sequences, emails that you want the reps to be able to use. They can have the templates and then they make changes to them. Workflows for how am I going to follow up on a lead? After I've sent a proposal and reviewed it with them, what are the next steps? Do I have a sequence that I'm following there? The standardized steps that you want through the sales process and the standardized tools that used to have to come out of a sales rep's head or they had to go look up in SharePoint, you want that living in your CRM. That's a capability that you need to have because it's what allows you to standardize how your sales team is operating.
And from the operations standpoint, that's massive. A lot of people get really caught up in some of the more snazzy aspects of AI. You know, it can create this really cool visual. It can write an email campaign for me. It could write an email campaign for me in the style of Ernest Hemingway if I asked it to do that. But where a lot of companies are actually seeing the real ROI from artificial intelligence is in the more, blocking and tackling type aspects of adding in automated workflows, standardizing tasks so that it's done the same way every single time, because those little incremental time savings that provides, that's what really starts to add up and can really be the game changer, because it's freeing up a salesperson from having to explain something that is now just a process. And instead of explaining something or having to try to remember how to do it, they're going out and they're having a call with a high value prospect.
It's also giving the data that you need to determine what coaching, training, process adjustments you need to make. I want to take a minute and share too, you can integrate many different tools into your CRM now. There's so many different ones that can help your team be more effective. Business intelligence platforms are one of the biggest ones. We use Seamless AI and currently have an outbound cold email prospecting campaign running where we were able to pull the data from Seamless directly into HubSpot and start a multi-channel campaign that includes both marketing and sales. As a salesperson, I can go into Seamless and get data about a contact who has reached out. So you want to be able to have that level of information in your CRM. So let's talk about marketing. We've talked about sales, and on marketing, Lisa, lots going on the AI side with marketing. Share here.
Lots going on. So lead scoring is definitely a feature that you absolutely want to have in your CRM. That is where it can automatically identify prospects that are more likely to be ready to buy. So your sales reps are focusing on these prospects. Personalization at scale, like we were just talking about, people are expecting that instant personalization. You can build this right into your campaigns so that based on the behavior down to an individual is taking inside a campaign, they can receive customized content based on their actions. And this is just, again, a critical component at this point in time.
If you think about the campaigns that you're creating in marketing, you're saying, I want this email to go out and it's going to have a link to this blog, or we are going and we're posting this social content to a target market. We want to give a certain asset. Now you have the capability to say, I'm going to shift what content we are delivering to people or which email we're sending to people based on the way that they have engaged. That's huge. It changes the way you think about your marketing. And as part of that, then you've got A/B testing. You absolutely have to be able to do that now. And not all systems do it or do it well. And you can A/B test lots of different things. Some can only A/B test emails, and how they do it is limiting, but you want A/B testing. Social media management, having it all in one place. When we talk about content in a minute, that's part of your unified content. And AI-powered analytics around the campaigns. Lisa, do you want to say anything more about that?
Well, A/B testing can be massively effective if you have AI analytics that can, during campaigns, analyze what A or B is working better so that you can make those shifts while campaigns are currently running. So
we use these tools to help us determine which campaigns are being effective and which are not. And that's the capability that you want. The faster you can make shifts, the faster you're going to see an improvement in your results, which ultimately means the faster you get to leads. Let's talk about Content Hub. And Lisa, you spend a lot of time in Content Hub, and this is one of the places where people think first about AI.
This can really help you. It really is a must-have in your CRM at this point, because this is where it can help save your marketing team a lot of the manual effort that was done before and getting them 80% of the way there, in rapidly creating anything from email content to assets, or working through different types of campaigns. And helping customize those to your actual brand, having that all baked in. And it's really an essential component at this point, Kendra.
I believe so. As people have really started to adopt AI, being able to have it built into your marketing system and your CRM just as a game changer in how quickly you can move. Mm-hmm. Colleen, I know you have thoughts here as well.
Absolutely. I mean, one of, I think, the coolest features when you talk about pairing CRM data with AI and content and your website is if your system supports it like HubSpot does, you can actually have form fields automatically filled in by the AI based on who the person is who's visiting your website. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I hate filling out forms. It is a huge barrier to me downloading something or signing up for something. I get to a web page, I have to type in all this information. I don't want to do it. I leave. With HubSpot and its CRM capabilities and AI, if the website knows who I am for whatever reason, cookies, I've entered information before, etc., I just go there. All of my data automatically appears in the form. All I need to do is click one button. You dramatically reduce the friction of someone signing up for one of your services or downloading another asset. And when you reduce that friction, you are getting better buy signals. So that data is getting back into your CRM. Your sales team is seeing it. The lead scoring that Lisa was talking about on the previous side, it's getting updated. And your reps are now going after those highest value prospects.
With AI, it's based on the knowledge that it is gaining. Is it pulling data? Is it reading content? It's all learning from the data that it has, the information, the unified content management, and this last bullet, website creation and management, those are core places that your AI learns so that it can give you the better results as you are using it and make you even more productive. Website creation and management means that it lives in your system. You're not having multiple systems that you're dealing with. So be thinking about how does your CRM integrate with your inbound and your outbound in such a way that you can truly leverage all that knowledge for your AI. Now, let's talk about Service Hub. Not every marketing automation or CRM system has this capability. Today, people want faster communication. They want answers from you quickly. It means you've got to have multiple ways you can deliver that. We talked about the multi-channel marketing. Chatbots are one of those. And Lisa and Colleen, I know you both have done quite a bit here. Who wants to share?
I will gladly jump in here because, like Kendra said, not all CRMs offer a Service Hub option, and not all of them are, shall we say, smart enough to be able to learn from your existing content and learn from the interactions that it's having with other people who use it, quite in the same way that HubSpot's is. Because for many, Service Hub type things where you have a chatbot on your website that's going to interact with users, you have to sit there and program every single question you could possibly think of to give the best user experience. Because the last thing someone using a chatbot wants is every question they send, they get the response of, someone will get back to you. They want the answer from the chatbot, which is why they're talking to it. And with HubSpot, it is learning from that unified content system that Kendra was talking about before. And it's able to give better answers faster. And the longer it's on your site and the more people use it, the smarter it's going to get, the better it's going to get. And this is another place where you can start to pull in some of that visitor information. So maybe it is a first-time visitor to your website. They interact with your chatbot. They give their name, their email, what company they work for, maybe. That all gets fed into your CRM, and you've got now a way to follow up with them because you see their full chat history and you know what they're interested in. Or not to follow up with them because maybe it's spam. You stop wasting time on unqualified opportunities.
And you have all that information about them. Mm-hmm. Lisa, is there anything that you would add?
Well, and this just really fills that gap of the instant communication aspect too. So, when, you're not personally available to, chat back immediately on a web page, your chatbot can do that and be very fully capable of all of your knowledge.
And more people are doing their searching after hours or on weekends. To have a chatbot that can answer questions from your website can be very effective. Additionally, it doesn't have to be one chatbot for your whole site. You can have different chatbots on different sections of your site. Mm-hmm. So think bigger, because the possibilities are all out there. You just want to know that those capabilities are there for you to use. So as you're looking at your revenue generating engine, you want to be considering, what do we need to be doing in sales? What do we need to be doing in marketing? And what do we have to do to optimize? Those three together are what's going to get you seen, heard, and traction so that you are driving the opportunities you want and you are retaining your clients who are also part of this whole system. So my last poll for you is, based on what we just shared, which of these steps do you feel like you need to take first? Is it that you need to evaluate and upgrade your current CRM system? Do you need to explore HubSpot as a potential solution? Do you need to implement AI and real-time data strategies in your CRM? Do you need to improve your sales processes using CRM features? Do you need to enhance your marketing with advanced CRM capabilities? Do you need to schedule a CRM consultation to discuss the situation? Which of these are you feeling like is the next step you need to take? It's kind of interesting because I was speaking with one of our clients. We, with all of our marketing clients, do a quarterly leadership meeting where I meet with their leadership and I share what we're seeing as trends. And I was working with one of them and we were talking about CRM, and I was telling him what he needed to be able to do in his CRM because they hadn't really embraced their CRM yet and they were trying to figure it out. And as we got to the end of it, he said, oh my gosh, selling has changed. And he has 30 years of sales behind him. He said, I don't know what we're supposed to put as our sales process in there. So his first step is figuring out his sales processes so that he can align them with the CRM capabilities. So there can be lots of different places that you have to start first. And as I look, we are evenly divided between evaluate and upgrade our current CRM system. You go download the slides. I'm going to give you the link for that in just a second. If that's important to you, go download the slides because we've included slides on features. And now you've got something you can do as a checklist. And if you want to evaluate that, then let me know and we can talk. I'm happy to have that conversation. Explore HubSpot as a potential solution. Definitely, I have to tell you, we love it. We moved to it 2 years ago and we've moved our clients to it. And what a game changer in businesses it has been. Improve our sales processes using CRM features. When you know your process, you now know what you need to do in your CRM. And then enhance our marketing with advanced CRM capabilities. You want to use every feature you can to distinguish yourself. So that's a lot that we just threw at you in a very short period of time. If you feel like you need to determine if you have the best CRM tools that are powering your revenue generating engine, then let's talk about that. I am happy to have that conversation with you and talk about what are the tools that you have today, what are the capabilities in your CRM, and what are things that you may not have that would help you versus what you may not need. So let's schedule an appointment for that. That's on the same landing page as the slides are. So Bill, if you would put into chat, I'm not in chat, so I can't see, the link for the landing page as well, where they can get the slides, that would be helpful. And our next revenue generating webinar, we're going to talk about how you can launch AI agents to fire up your prospecting results. So Paula Riley, our HubSpot digital marketing specialist, will be here, and we are going to do demos of how you can launch AI agents that will help you be more productive in your prospecting. And Lisa Regas will be back with us, our KLA marketing strategist and AI expert. Thank you, Lisa. That will be July 11th at 1 o'clock Eastern.